I am doing a quick sit down video today just to kind of give um, a little quick update, and especially with going further for the next maybe 6 to 8 weeks to maybe even 6 months. Um, I don't even know where to begin in this video, but before I do, this is mostly about like the female health and female reproductive and all that kind of stuff. So if you're not interested in that, I'm sorry. Probably not for you, this video, but when I was over the last several months or so, I've been watching I've seen a lot of videos on this, and it has helped me tremendously. And I want to kind of give back a little bit as well, because everyone's experience is going to be different, and it's really, really helpful to have that knowledge out there, to have those resources out there to help you in your journey. So next week, I'm actually scheduled for major surgery, which is going to be a total hysterectomy. They'll be removing my uterus, fallopian tubes, and my cervix. I don't know. I'm really so close to canceling this surgery. It's really honestly not even funny. I don't. I know a lot of women who are going to go through this and who have been through this. Most of the time, women are really, really happy. They're just getting a solution to their problems and stuff like that. Me, on the other hand, it's kind of the opposite. I've been in like a mourning period and grieving period because I did want to have more children in my future, and I still do want to have more children. And so that's why I'm so close to canceling the surgery. I shared about maybe 6 months ago when I had biopsies done and stuff like that. They found that my lining was thickened, and I was actually diagnosed recently with adenomyosis, which is something I never even heard about until actually I was looking up endometrial biopsies, and I saw this one video where someone had adenomyosis, never heard of it until then, and I looked at that video really just to see about the biopsy for the endometrial lining. And then my doctor called me up several months ago, probably around November, December, and said that from their ultrasounds that they saw, the internal ultrasounds, the transvaginal ultrasounds, that I had adenomyosis. Now, adenomyosis is only really 100% diagnosed after they take the uterus out. And that's really the only medical way to find, to fix adenomyosis, is to remove the uterus. It is kind of like in relation to endometriosis, where the endometrial lining grows on the outside of your uterus. It can grow anywhere and attach to anywhere. Endometriosis, they can go in and they can clean that off and remove all of that endometriosis. But with adenomyosis, it's actually embedded into the muscle walls of the uterus. So the only solution is to remove the uterus. There's no other way of going around about it. So removing endometriosis is usually hand in hand. People who have adenomyosis usually do have endometriosis as well. So even if you do just remove the endometriosis, the symptoms from the adenomyosis is still going to be there. Symptoms wise, it's been really, really tough, and it is really tough. I've been trying hormone therapy for the last 6 months or so, and it's done really nothing, and actually probably made things worse for me. The pain level was really, really bad when I was on the hormones. Emotionally, mentally, I was gone. Physically, I was in pain all the time. And that is one of my most significant symptoms when it comes to adenomyosis. There's lots of symptoms: heavy bleeding, bloating, back pain. The uterus gets enlarged and it grows and it presses on your nerves, it presses on your bowels, it presses on your bladder, affects your legs, your back, your pelvic floor. And it's really just crazy because there's been so many days where I feel like I am giving birth to a child and I look like I'm 5 months pregnant, but the pressure that is on you, like the feeling of having to push, the intense contractions, intense labor, my stomach will be swollen and you can feel it. It's hard like a rock, and in pain. I'm in pain. Walking is hard. Getting up is hard. Like, it's just been hard. Ultimately, my goal in life is to please the Lord. That's my goal in life and in general. And I just want to make sure that this surgery is in the will of the Lord. And I think that's been the biggest challenge for me, is knowing if this is the will of the Lord. I believe in healing 100% with or without surgery, with or without medicine. But I believe that these things were given to us to help us. So that's been a struggle. That's been a struggle, just knowing like if this is the right thing to do, especially with the fact that I did want to have more children in my future. It's been really hard for me to accept this and move on, even though I have accepted it. And I did accept it, and I was moving on forward. And then I got the call for pre-op and post-op. And I was like, oh my goodness, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decision? I don't know. I really don't. The thought of never having another child breaks my heart. Nursing my little one and having my little one was the best days I can remember as an adult or in my life. Having my little ones and nursing and just have a newborn and the snuggles and this little toes that you just want to nibble on. And it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. And I even called my doctor today and I'm like, what if we just go in and do like a diagnostic laparoscopy? Because that was his initial thought, was just to go in and diagnose and see if there's any endometriosis. But again, I will have to be put under anesthesia for that. And if it does not resolve adenomyosis, which it will not, I will have to go under again and then do the hysterectomy. So I just said it makes no sense be putting under twice to solve one problem. Yeah, so it's been a long road. It's been a long road. I've tried the hormones for about 6 months now, and it made me miserable. And on top of all of that, I also was diagnosed with gallstones and an enlarged spleen. I shared in the last video that I had like some the positive for autoimmune diseases. And I really tried to cut down my inflammation, because adenomyosis also does cause inflammation in your body. It is just in your womb, your uterus is just inflamed, and it's a hostile place. It's inflamed, and it's, but it didn't really work really well. Me cutting down gluten and dairy, I definitely did try, and I still do try coconut milk instead of milk, and just try not to have any cheese or things like that. And I'm still trusting God. I just want to be in His will ultimately. Whatever His will is, that's what I want. Like if it's to have surgery, like I'm totally okay with that. But I just don't want to make the wrong decision and the wrong choice. And that's really scary to me to think that I don't want to make the wrong choice. I don't want to. And if I do have surgery, I will be posting and trying to share my journey, because the women who have shared their journeys before has helped me so much to know what I need to buy ahead of time, what my recovery should look like, what are some of the most painful things, the gas pain in the shoulders, from they blow up your stomach with a gas, to see all the organs, and recovery time, and driving, and taking narcotics, and just so many different things. Yes, you can talk to your doctor, and the doctor will obviously advise you and tell you things, and they're there for you. But to see firsthand experiences has just been a game changer. Like, it just helped so much. I'm going to take a cake out the oven and I will be right back. So that's what's been going on. Recovery is going to be a challenge for me because I have 2 small children, and that's a big thought in my head. Like, my husband did obviously apply for some time off, and he did not get approved of that, actually. Okay, good. So he didn't really get the time off approved. He will be home, obviously, on his off days, but he works really long hours, like 12-hour shifts. So it's just going to be a challenge for me with 2 small children. I mean, my oldest is such a huge help, and she will help. And then my youngest she's able to do a lot of things on her own as well. But just the fact that I'm their mom and I have to take care of them, and I don't know how I'm going to be, in what state I will be in mentally, and of course physically. Um, that's why I don't want anyone. I just want to be alone, to be honest with you, after the surgery. I know I'm going to be grieving. I've already been grieving for the last couple months or so, emotionally, but I have come to peace with it. Like, if this is the will of the Lord for my life, like, I'm okay with that 100%. Um, but I just want to make sure that's the right decision. And I know it's gonna, sometimes you have to go through things, and that is okay. It's not the end of the world. For a lot of people, they're so happy to get their hysterectomy done. They're so happy to be approved for that. And I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that I'm able to have this being provided for me and be able to have the option just handed to me like that, to solve this problem. I'm grateful that, we were able to work with the insurance to get everything covered. And that's just the grace of God. And, so that's why I'm making this video, because things are going to look a little bit different for the next few months. I don't know how much I'll be able to post. I don't know how much I'll be able to cook. There will be a lot of takeout meals, freezer meals. I definitely want to plan and prep for a lot of freezer meals, as much as I possibly can, whether that's doubling up baked chicken or meatloaf or shepherd's pie or something, lasagna, and placing one in the freezer for a meal for another day, and stuff like that. That's definitely a plan of mine, and I may make videos on that coming up soon. Definitely want to do some hauls at Costco, because Costco has some really great frozen meals and stuff that I would like to have. I do already have stuff in my freezer, but those are plans. Another thing with the gallbladder, the gallstones, and the spleen, and enlarged spleen and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what my next steps are. I don't know. I'm just trusting God. That's all I can do. Whatever happens, and wherever this road takes me, I just have to trust God. That's all I can do. But I am making this video because I don't know what's going to happen, and those other videos helped me so much, so I want to be helpful to anyone else, especially when it comes to planning. If you have small children at home, most of the videos that I've seen, I didn't really see much planning and prepping for home life, and that's where most of my life happens, at home, when it comes to taking care of my children and cooking and homeschooling and stuff like that. Of course, we won't be homeschooling during that time, not much. We'll still be doing a little bit, but yeah, all of those things come to like a huge role. Like, we have evaluations coming up for my oldest. My youngest is going to be having to start, like, legit start. I have to send in my notice of intent for her. There's just so much that goes on in the home, and I haven't really seen much videos on that, so I'm going to try and maybe share as much as I possibly can. I don't know. And another thing too is, I'm again so close to canceling my surgery. Like, I I've thought about it so many times. Like, I should just cancel it. Just cancel it. Because again, I don't know what to do. I do want to have more children. It's a huge decision. It's life changing. You have this empty space in your body that takes a really long time, even sometimes up to a year, to adjust. There's prolapse. There's so many risks. There's so many things that it's just the unknown. I think that's where the fear of the unknown, honestly, when they called me for pre-op and post-op, that's when it really kicked in, and that's where my nerves started to just, like, get the best of me. Because it's not something I definitely never thought I would have this, or never wanted to have this, or I'm not sure. Anyways, so that is it for now. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but surgery is in a week. I have lab work to do for tomorrow coming up. Pre-op is in about, well, surgery is in about a week and a few days. Pre-op is in about a week and a day. My pre-op appointment with my doctor, and I think that's a virtual appointment. Yes, I will be doing that virtually. Post-op will be in the office. I want to see if I can do a post-op virtual, but I'm pretty sure they're going to want to check stitches and stuff like that. So I may have to go into the office for that. But again, driving. My daughter has music lessons, and obviously grocery hauls and pickups. I'm so grateful for grocery delivery. Oh my goodness. So grateful for grocery delivery. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm confident because I know who I believe in, and I'm persuaded that he is able. He's more than able. But, we have these things again to go through, and that's okay. It's okay too. We'll see. We'll see, and I will be taking you along with me if I am going to go through this journey, because I want to be helpful to anyone else who has this in the future, especially if you have small children at home, if you have homeschooling or prepping and all these different things to do. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but it's going to be okay. I'm telling myself this. I'm telling myself this. I'm like giving myself a little pep talk right now. Like, girl, you're going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay. Like, but it's not going to be easy. Emotionally, it's going to be tough. It's about 4 to 6 to 8 weeks recovery, depending on, it is a robotic laparoscopic surgery, but they don't know to the extent. Again, it's just going to be the uterus, fallopian tubes, the cervix. And right now the plan is to keep my ovaries. If they do remove my ovaries, obviously if they remove your ovaries, you go into, as soon as you wake up from surgery, you're in menopause. So that's not something that I want, but they don't know the condition of my ovaries. I know I've had cysts on my ovaries before, on my left ovary, but I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. I'm trusting. So we'll see. I'll take you guys along with me. So I'm sorry for this long rambling on video, but I think it's important to make. It's important to talk about. It's important to discuss because it is helpful. I'm so grateful for all the other women who have made these videos to help. It has been so helpful and encouragement, and just kind of like calming, takes the fear, like all of those things, the kind of medication that you need to get over the counter, products to buy before that will help, like a belly band or like a wedge to sleep on. I mean, there's just so many different things that it's just, if you didn't even think about it, like you wouldn't even know. And these things can make recovery so much more helpful. So that's my goal, just to maybe share my story. And yeah, I will let you guys know either way, one way or the other, if we go through or not, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.